YouTube? This is Jericho Majors, coming back to do a quick kind of, I don't know, a preliminary kind of ask and see kind of review thing. There are a lot of reviews on the internet right now of the Moto X, the kind of first Google Motorola phone. There have been a bunch of Droid lines that have branched off from Motorola, like the Droid Ultra, the Droid Max, like recently. There's the Droid Mini, Droid Ultra, and Droid Max that are like the three newest ones. And there have been a lot of droids in the past, you know, like the Droid Razor M, Droid, you know, all that stuff. But the Moto X is the first kind of Google-inspired design droid, and I've been watching a lot of reviews of it over the past couple of months. And I found it to be a very interesting phone. It's basically the Droid Ultra. No. Yes, the Droid Ultra, the one that's made out of Kevlar. It's basically the Droid Ultra with a slightly bigger battery and a different housing, or case, I guess as you would call it. It's got a different display and a different kind of backing, buttons, all that stuff. But it's basically the same phone. It's really something I've been wanting for a long time, and I actually just recently got it yesterday, and I'm recording this video on it, on the Moto X. And I was making this video just to ask anyone if they would want to hear about how cool this phone is, hear about all the stuff it could do. If you have any questions about it, if you know anything about it, you know, you can ask questions in the comments. But just some cool things about the phone itself. It has this X8 core, I think it's called the X8. How it has multiple cores or CPUs dedicated to different parts of the phone, like the display, the voice control, the apps, like just different things that are dedicated to parts of the phone that make the battery life longer, because Motorola is known for having really good battery life. And it has like 3 microphones in it, one in the front, one down at the bottom, and then one at the back. That kind of eliminate background noise most of the time and make it possible for the voice control to work in a public space, which is something I've been testing the last 2 days. I got it early yesterday, and then I went to go see The Desolation of Smaug in theaters last night with a bunch of friends, like a lot of friends. And then I've just been, you know, using it from then until now. And I found that it's extremely useful. The voice control, I thought, it could come off as a gimmick. I've heard people say that it is actually useful, and I've found for myself that it can be very useful. It does get a little, like when no one else has a phone like that in a group of people, you look kind of like you're showing off whenever you use the Google Now feature. And what's really interesting is the fact that you can code it to your voice. Is that it only responds to you, which I told other people to say, oh, I can't really say the phrase, because since I'm recording it on the phone, if I say the phrase, okay, and then I say Google, and then I say now, I'm not going to say the whole phrase, because if I do, it'll pull up the search engine response thing. If you ask anyone else to say that, it won't respond, but then I said it, and it would respond to me. And we were in the theater, like not in a theater space, but we were like outside in the main atrium where there were a lot of people, you know, talking, getting popcorn and stuff like that, and it still worked fine a couple times. The only time I ever had any problems with it was just because I was kind of slurring my speech a little bit. I wasn't drunk, don't worry. I just kind of slurred my speech a little bit with some phrases, and I kind of just said a very, very similar sounding word, but it was just a little bit different in spelling. Some other things I didn't know it had was this face recognition thing, which actually works extremely well. I thought that might have been a gimmick whenever I found it, but it works extremely well. What you do is, to unlock your phone, you go into your settings and your security, and you go to face recognition, or whatever it's called, and you hold the phone up to your face, and there's a little like dot circle, kind of like this shape, and you put your face in it. And what I did is I kind of like moved my face around a little bit like this, just so I could get some different angles of my face. And then it loaded all of the dots, and then it said okay, and then it made me do like a little pattern thing just in case my face didn't work. And what's really cool about that is that whenever I would do it, it would work immediately. It wouldn't like load the whole thing like that again and then do it. I pulled it up and it was just like, turn it on, bam. It worked like literally that fast. It was very fast. And what's even cooler about it is that there's a blink feature which requires you to blink. You can turn that on, you can turn it off if you want to, but there's one that requires you to blink. And the significance of that is someone could hold up a picture of you to your phone if they really wanted to get in your phone and you had that feature. They hold up a picture of you, and sometimes that could work depending on the lighting. I haven't had it. I've tried to get pictures of me and do it, and it hasn't worked yet, which is kind of cool. But it requires you to blink, which is even cooler because if you have a picture, how do you make a picture blink? That's pretty smart. So yeah, the camera is a lot better. The front-facing camera, the one that you're watching this on, is a lot better than what my iPhone was. I really don't like iPhones. I've never really liked them, but I've just been using it because my Motorola Razr M, or my Droid Razr M, I guess is what you would call it, was stolen earlier this year, and I really love that phone. But what are you gonna do? The iPhone 4 that I was using was kind of a hand-me-down, but a preliminary phone for this one, which is an amazing phone. It's really fast. Whenever I'm downloading apps on the 4G LTE, by the time I press OK to verify it, it's just done. I mean, these aren't particularly large apps. I downloaded a large app, and it took about a minute to download. With my iPhone 4, I had to like plug it up to the computer and just leave it for an afternoon if I wanted to like do any kind of update or put an app on there that was pretty big. I mean, I just had to leave it there, which, I was just fine with doing that, but like now that this phone is so much faster, it's really cool. The 4G, it's weird. I live out in a not really metropolitan area. I live in kind of a kind of a suburban area. It's not really known for its internet speed, because that's why we have a Wi-Fi. And my 4G connection is phenomenally faster than my Wi-Fi is. Whenever I put it on the Wi-Fi, it takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes to load a video on YouTube, which is kind of ridiculous, but we have a lot of devices on it right now because there's some more people in my house per the Christmas season. And whenever I put it on 4G, whatever, it just bam, it's just like I click it and it starts. This video is getting a little bit long, but I just wanted to let people know that I have this phone, and if there's any questions they have about it from a consumer point, because all other reviews you'd be seeing are from a critic's viewpoint of someone who has different phones to lay next to each other and show you exactly why this phone's better than that phone. I wanted to do a review that kind of showed the pros and cons of this phone by itself, just kind of giving people a reason to want this phone or not want this phone, because I don't really have anything bad to say about it yet, but just let me know in the comments if you want to see a good review of this. I'll do one on my computer, I'll put the music on it, all that stuff. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and also if you want to see a review of the Hobbit Desolation of Smaug from my viewpoint, I know you've probably seen a lot on YouTube by this point, but if you want to hear mine, go ahead and ask and I'll make one for sure. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.